Um, Hello. This is my second stream of the evening. And this one is just going to report on a new poll, which really is no surprise, but it is very nice to have the evidence. So let me make sure that I have the article up. And now I'll share it for you. It's from Common Dreams. And it says undermining right wing attack. Poll shows that most Americans with employer provided insurance support moving to Medicare for all. That's the headline. And again, it's written by Jake Johnson. A staff writer for Common Dreams. And let me go over it with you. A little photo. Medicare for all, health care is a right. Single payer advocates hold sign at the House, the Budget Committee's hearing on Medicare for all on May 22nd, 2019. This was a Business Insider poll that was published on Thursday. We found most Americans with employer-sponsored health insurance support switching over to Medicare for all, undermining the right-wing narrative that the U.S. public is wedded to private insurance plans. Well, it's not merely a right-wing narrative. It's a corporate narrative, okay, a corporatist narrative. Uh, it's a narrative that has been given credence by Kamala Harris and by Joe Biden. After all, why is Kamala Harris supporting a 10-year transition plan? Why did she advance a 10-year transition plan? Well, presumably because she believed the right-wing narrative that the U.S. public is wedded to their private insurance plans, right? Isn't that what she's basically telling us? That it bothered her that people weren't going to be able to keep their insurance plans, and that it really bothered them. Also, Tim Ryan was convinced, boy, my unions are really going to be upset at this because they work so hard to get these plans. They won't be pleased to go off them and sign up for a Medicare for All plan. And of course, he seemed ignorant of the fact that the Medicare for All plans in H.R. 1384 and Senate Bill 1129 are better health insurance than any of the union plans. They have a wider range of services, and there are no premiums, and there are no copays, and there are no deductibles. Okay, I correct myself. In the Senate bill, in Bernie Sanders' plan, there are copays that can go as high as $200 a year, but no more than that. They're limited to $200 per year. Why is that? Uh, I don't know. There was some notion that it shouldn't be too easy for people to get some dangerous drugs. That there might be it might be better if there were a slight amount of economic deterrent in that process. But in the House bill, in House Bill 1384, there is no such provision. There are no premiums, no co-pays, and no deductibles in those bills as of now. And of course, Jake Johnson also reports here that Joe Biden and Tim Ryan and other corporate candidates on the Democratic side claimed, that Americans were afraid of giving up their employer-provided plans in favor of Medicare for all. David Sirota, a very, very good writer and reporter himself, who is now a speechwriter for Bernie Sanders' 2020 campaign, said, "The Business Insider survey destroys that business-friendly line of attack uh, against the Medicare for All bill." And of course, he is entirely right about that. He said it could expand Medicare to provide comprehensive and generous health care coverage to everyone in the United States. And he, in the article, of course, also provide a link to the Business Insider poll. The poll also found that Americans on government-run healthcare plans such as Medicare and Medicaid are more satisfied with their coverage than those on employer-sponsored plans, which have soared in cost over the past 2 decades. According to Business Insider, 50% of respondents on the government plan said they love their coverage. Just 41% of those with employer-provided plans said the same. And that is very interesting. The government plans, are the Medicare and Medicaid plans and VA. The VA plan and TRICARE, those are government run plans. And 57% of respondents said they love their coverage, while just 41% of those with employer provided plans said the same. Quote, "One more time for people in the back. Nobody loves Aetna," tweeted Alex Jaquez, policy advisor to Bernie Sanders. Quote, "They just want dependable, quality health care, and we're going to give it to them." Unquote. Yes, of course. That was always the idea, that people preferred their employer sponsored plans, was always a fairy tale, a myth propounded by defenders of the present system who will do anything, who will tell any lie to stop the American people from getting Medicare for all. In fact, we might have been making a political mistake in all coming out so strongly for Medicare for all. Perhaps, maybe we should have come out for is a national health service to give the other side some incentive to compromise on a Medicare for All plan. Okay, I'm only partly kidding about that. What we need to do now is to get behind the Medicare for All concept with no premiums, no copays, and no deductibles. That is H.R. 1384. We need to get behind H.R. 1384, and we need to dig in our heels, and we need to say this is a matter of principle. No mercy for the private insurance companies. No compromise. Nothing. We just want the private insurance companies to go. We just want the government to provide insurance to all of us that is free at the point of care, free at the point of service. How it's financed is a separate question. I've talked about that enough times. I'm not going to talk about it in this particular stream. I'm saying we have to dig in our heels. We can't be defensive about this. We have to say no compromise on this. This is a litmus test. Anyone running against the Medicare for All bills needs to be defeated in 2020. An arrival in favor of Medicare for All needs to be elected in their stead. That's got to be the last word on this particular subject. That's got to be the last word that we listen to. We need to be tired of being at the mercy of the health insurance companies for so long. We need to be tired of these companies holding the power of life and death over us and our families. We are Americans. We have to stop this tyranny of the insurance companies. We have to stop the murderers by spreadsheet. At long last. Now. So once again, that's what I want to say for this stream. It was short. I don't know if it was sweet, but it was all that I'd like to say in the subject by just now. So I'm going to show you the share, like, and subscribe slide with the Patreon link right now. Please go to the Patreon link at some point and make a small donation. Even $1 will be appreciated. So thank you. And I'll see you in a few minutes. I'll see you in a few minutes for another stream. I'm going to end this one right now.